When it comes to officiating in professional sports, there's been an effort to assist these referees, these umpires, these officials with things like technology, instant replay, all these different metrics and lasers and automatic strike zone and tennis with the line judge, the laser overview and all that stuff. There's been a humongous effort as technology's gotten better to help out these referees and make sure the calls are more consistently correct. What hasn't happened is the accountability level for these referees and officials has not changed in any way. These guys continue to repeatedly get the calls wrong over and over and over again or make egregious mistakes, right? Referees in the AFC Championship just giving Kansas City a second opportunity to play. Referee uh referee in the NBA missing an obvious and blatant foul call on LeBron James. Umpires in baseball missing strike calls, balls that are 4 or 5 inches off the plate, and it's strike 3. These referees aren't doing their job, and I understand they're hard. I understand the job of referees, umpires, and officials is a difficult one. I understand it. But then let's get technology more involved and make sure there's rules in place that allow for that call on LeBron James to be reviewed so that he's able to go to the free throw line and get assessed a foul properly. Or Devontae Smith goes up for a catch in the NFC Championship game and nobody challenges it, and the Eagles run up to the line of scrimmage and run a play, and the fifth official in the booth wasn't able to get the replay off quick enough, and we weren't able to see that it was actually an incompletion on 4th down. Not an excuse. Not an excuse. Not how it works. Even if the Eagles run up the line and run a play and get a playoff, actually hold on. Halfway through that play while it was running, the referee up in the booth was able to recognize and realize this was not a completed pass, run it back, reset the clock. It's that simple. And now in baseball, they're implementing the challenge of the strike calls, which I think is great. But the main problem is that these referees and umpires and officials aren't held accountable for poor performance. As an athlete, when you play poorly and you don't produce, you get held accountable by being benched, by being sent down, by being released, by not playing anymore. These referees, umpires, and officials make bad calls and don't do their job well, and nothing happens. They don't get held accountable. It doesn't do anything. Half of these referees in the NBA, we don't even know their faces. We don't know what their names are. We don't know what they look like. So we can't hold them accountable. There's like a couple guys that we know because they've been referees for a long time in the NBA. But otherwise, we don't hear about these guys getting punished or fined or reprimanded or any repercussions being handed out for doing a really bad job. There's nothing that happens to these guys. They keep their job, they come back the next year, and they continue to mess it up big time. And that is the situation that needs to change moving forward, because I do think the human element of it is important. And there are a lot of penalties, a lot of calls, a lot of situations where it could go 50-50, and that's where the referee steps in to make the call or not make the call. But when it's obvious and blatant, there needs to be a way to get it fixed. Because it's just like a poorly behaving child, right? If a kid comes up and what's a good example? If you have a kid and every time he sits down to eat dinner at the table with his glass of milk, he just knocks it over on purpose. First time he knocks it over. Mistake. He's a little kid. He don't know any better. Hey, Jimmy, don't do it again. Second time he comes up, just knocks it over. Hey, we don't do that around here. That's not going to be how it works. And if you do it again, you're not going to be allowed to sit here and you're in timeout or whatever the repercussions are. Third time he knocks it over, all right, you're done. Get out, go sit in your room. You're locked in there. Stare at the wall for the next 5 hours. No phone, no TV, no video games. Those are repercussions. He is getting reprimanded for doing poorly. In the NFL, it's like, well, they missed that one. What are you going to do? What? What? In NBA, oh yeah, that looks like it. Looks like that one should have been a foul. What are you gonna do? Not much there. No. How about you fine the official, or you suspend him if he misses 5 obvious foul calls in one game? Or in baseball, if the first base umpire has 5 plays overturned on replay, actually, how about you're done? You're sent down to the minor leagues, and we're going to get a guy up here who'll get the call right. It's that simple. But instead, we got to sit here as a fan base. We got to sit here as sports fans, sit back and question the integrity of the game because the officials are doing such a poor job. That's not fair to us. That's not fair to the players. And all it does is make the product worse in the long run. So that's all I got to say about that. LeBron, chill the hell out a little bit. Step up, be a man, be a little bit tougher, but also the officiating this past weekend in all sports across all leagues was about as bad as it gets.